Howdy folks, welcome back to Draft and Drive. My name is Josh. I'm here with my sister Alexia. We are siblings who are NASCAR enthusiasts, and today we're going to be going over the weekend at Kansas Speedway. Folks, we just came off of a thrilling, actually, overtime finish, besides a pretty boring race at Kansas for the Cup Series. But we'll get to that in a bit. Alexia, start us off with the O'Reilly Series.
All right, so O'Reilly Series. Carson Quaffle was on the pole, but staying up front for him didn't last too long because on lap 2, there was a spin with Josh Bilicki, and then during that spin, Carson Quaffle flipped. William Byron and Carson Quaffle made contact, and then as they made contact, Parker Retzlaff hit Carson Quaffle, which had him spin on the racetrack. His day was done after he barrel rolled down the backstretch. Lap 21 was a competition caution since qualifying got rained out. Lap 38, Austin Hill spun, and William Sawalich also got involved. He was battling his teammate Jesse Love when the spin happened, and Austin Hill was not happy with Jesse Love. Stage 1 winner was Brandon Jones. The only caution in Stage 2 was Anthony Alfredo, who blew a tire and hit the wall, and he hit it pretty hard. He was okay. Stage 2 winner was Brandon Jones again. Caution on lap 100, Corey Day and Sammy Smith got together. And then Taylor Gray got his first win of the season, his second career O'Reilly Series victory at Kansas. My race pick was Jesse Love, who ended up getting 4th place. Josh, I believe you ended up picking actually the Dash for Cash winner, Sheldon Creed. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. He finished 2nd place. He's the only consistent Haas car right now because Sam Mayer, he's either finishing 10th or he's blowing up. So good run by Sheldon Creed. Obviously, he's had a pretty good start to the year. Obviously, a win, 2nd place, doing pretty good. But I believe because I got the higher finisher, I get to pick for Talladega. And I am going to pick not the obvious choice, the second obvious choice. Because Austin Hill's been in a bit of a slump. I'm going with his teammate Jesse Love, the only good car at RCR. Honestly, company-wide, Cup and O'Reilly, the only person who's able to do it right now. I don't trust Austin Hill. I think that team, they're just in the slump. They got to get back on track. This would be a very important weekend for them, but I believe Jesse Love gets it done at Talladega. And what about you?
So I think you're so right about RCR being company-wide, being absolutely dog shit, and I think we'll get into that later on in the podcast, because there were some interesting comments brought up this week between Denny Hamlin and then later on Kyle Busch and then Denny Hamlin's rebuttal. But funny enough, I am going with Austin Hill. I was going to go with whoever RCR car you didn't pick, so I literally had written down Austin Hill / Jesse Love, whichever one you elected not to go with, because I knew you were going to go with one of the two, but I mean, Austin Hill is just the obvious choice when you go to a drafting track, and so I'm going to go with him. They seem to, all the drivers behind him when he is in the lead just seem to lose all talent and all focus to think that they can win the race because they just sit behind him and are fighting amongst each other instead of trying to push someone else to the front to get each other the win. So we'll see with that. So my good surprise of the race, well, you did kind of tear my good surprise down, I'll be honest, because you said that Sheldon Creed is the only good Haas car. I actually said my good surprise of the race was Sam Mayer, because he's been absolutely shit lately and got 9th place. And then I also said my good surprise of the race was Dean Thompson.
Good thing for him.
Yeah. And then my also good surprise of the race was Dean Thompson. He got 11th place finish. Just a good overall race for him. And then my bad surprise of the race, I just thought William Byron would be a bit better. I know he had some contact earlier, like I said, with Carson Quaffle getting involved in that flip, but I thought he'd be more of a front runner at the O'Reilly race for Kansas. And then, I don't know, just driving, the junior motorsports cars, you always expect them to be battling either 1, 2, 3, and then being a Cup regular, you expect them to be going for the win. Just thought 6th place just kind of seemed like a down day for him.
Yeah, my good surprise, I picked Patrick Staropoli. Usually the guy is either irrelevant in the 20s, the low 20s, or I should say the high 20s, or he's a weapon on the racetrack. And he finished 14th, which I was very impressed with at a intermediate track. Thought that was pretty good for him. My bad surprise, Austin Hill. After he got, allegedly crushed by his teammate, it just continues his bad streak. Like RCR as a whole, pretty bad. Parker Retzlaff, after his couple good race streak, finished, I believe, second to last. rough for him, but he's got enough of a cushion. He should be all right with one bad race. But that's all I got for O'Reilly. How about you?
Yeah, all I had for O'Reilly, like I said, just something kind of keep an eye on. I thought the comments during the race with Austin Hill and then after the race with Jesse Love were interesting between the two. There seemed like there was a little bit of heat between the two. Austin Hill did say his comments were during the race because he got out early, but he said, like, yeah, we'll work together next weekend at Talladega, but it just seemed a little off. The relationship seemed a little off to me when the comments were going on for both of them. Again, Austin Hill is during the race when he's being interviewed and Jesse Love after the race, but it was just kind of like, just didn't seem, not all teammates get along. We've seen that now with Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain, and people have always said that maybe Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson aren't the best of buds, but I don't know, that relationship just seems a little off to me right now, Austin Hill and Jesse Love, so I think that's interesting. Obviously, they'll work together during Talladega, and they'll be the ones to beat, I would imagine, but yeah, something to keep an eye on. I'm ready now for Cup.
Okay, just to add on to that, I mean, it's also talking about Austin Hill. I mean, his past teammate, driver of the 2 cars, Sheldon Creed, remember there was beef before. They were good friends before. Remember the thing at Martinsville? They were really upset. They are good now, Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill, but while they were teammates, it's a common theme there. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm ready to take us into Cup. You said you're all good?
Oh. Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Whew. Hour after this races, and we are recording pod. Here we go. Tyler Reddick starts on pole.
This is a risk.
Kansas, yes. Hopefully he does not DQ. Spoiler alert. Reddick starts on pole. Denny Hamlin takes the lead after a few laps. And then on the green flag pick cycle, Ryan Blaney and AJ Allmendinger have contact on pit road as Blaney's leaving his pit and Allmendinger is entering. AJ spins and winds up going 2 laps down. He's junk for the rest of the day. Let's see. Austin Cindric starts 34th, moves up 18 spots. The biggest mover. I don't know why you're laughing. That's noteworthy. And
it is, yep.
He'll go up 18 spots to end stage 1. Denny Hamlin winds up winning stage number 1. Kyle Larson takes the lead on the restart to start stage number 2. And at this point, it is kind of apparent the race is going to be a snoozer. So pull your blankets up tight, folks. It's going to be a sleeper. And that's all I got for stage 2. Larson wins stage 2. That's all we had. Stage 3, things get a little bit more interesting, but only barely. Denny Hamlin will lead the restart, but Christopher Bell takes over on the very next lap, and he'll start to lead. On the second to last pit stop, people thought it was going to be the last pit stop. Denny Hamlin short pits and takes the lead, and he jumps both Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick winds up second place after the cycle. Ross Chastain pulls a Quinn Houff and tries to pit from the second lane, and he almost winds up taking out Christopher Bell, who almost winds up taking out Bubba Wallace. Let's see, Tyler Reddick, who has the newer tires between him and Denny Hamlin, takes the lead with 10 laps to go. But then, shortly afterwards, Tyler Reddick has a fuel hiccup, and he has to switch to his second pump, and he hits the wall, and Denny Hamlin passes him. Coming to the white flag, Cody Ware spins with the leaders, coming off of 4, with him also coming off of 4, bringing out a caution, the first and only natural caution of the day. On the restart, Denny Hamlin is on the bottom, Tyler Reddick is on the top, and Larson on the restart splits Denny Hamlin 3 wide by going on the bottom. Into turn 1, Larson clears, going off into turn number 2, and he is clear. He will lead to the white flag. However, he does not wind up getting the next flag, as Reddick will pass him on the final lap to win at Kansas, continuing his dominant start to the year. Let's see. My 36 for 36, Chase Briscoe, sucked for most of the race. He was around 10th to 13th most of the end of the race, but with the 2-lap shootout overtime, he was the first car to put on 4 tires, sliced and diced his way to the field, gets me a 3rd place finish. Also, I might as well just go into my race pick here. I picked Christopher Bell, who did lead for a good portion of the final stage, but he got jumped on the green flag pit cycle, wound up 3rd, and then on the 2-lap shootout, got wrecked by Tyler Reddick, actually, with contact with him. He wound up finishing 20th. Who was your race pick and 36 for 36?
So mine, I picked both last week. I did a 2-for-1. I went with Chris Buescher. He got 10th place, so I did expect him to be a little bit better just because this is one of his better tracks, but, I don't necessarily know if the last caution helped him at all. He was kind of running around that, 8th to 10th place all day, so I don't know if he lost any spots after that last caution with Cody Ware, but there's a couple things I wanted to bring up that happened during the race, so let's just jump right into it. A couple Fox moments, if you will. So, no action all day. There was no natural cautions. The only cautions were the stage cautions. And there was a moment that, as you said, that Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace nearly got together and almost, took each other out. Instead of jumping to show the replay, because again, there's no action. We are desperate for action. The commentators are desperate for action. Fox should be desperate for action. There should be no one more desperate for action than NASCAR on Fox. Instead of going to jump to show the replay to that, Fox instead elects to show some classic Kansas finishes. Now, don't get me wrong. Kansas has had some great finishes the last couple of years. The Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson finish that was, photo finish. The finish last year between Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, and then Chase Elliott scored at the last couple seconds in the race. But, the whole race is boring. The whole race is goddamn sleepy. Why could we not put the classic Kansas finishes 30 seconds later and show the replay first? Or maybe during a time where nothing's going on. That was the first Fox moment. And then the second Fox moment, this is just something that I noticed, but during the middle of the race, Fox said earlier this year that they were not going to have any full screen commercials when it was green flag. All of a sudden, I'm on my phone and, scrolling X, seeing what NASCAR Twitter is saying. Always something fun to do when the NASCAR race is on. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I feel I'm not watching the race. I feel like there's nothing on there. I look up, I know we're green flag, and there's a full screen commercial. And I'm I know Fox made something apparent that this wasn't going to happen, but I'm let me just make sure that X agrees with me too. So I look up NASCAR and Fox on X. You look up NASCAR and Fox, and you just scroll down, and it's, why are we on commercial? Thought there was no full screen commercials. We're green flag. Why is there no full screen commercials? Why can't I see the race? Fox, you're a bunch of fucking liars. And I'm just you're asking for it. Fox has this, target on them, and it's just, they're asking for it. They said they were going to do this, and then they didn't do it. So just a couple Fox moments today. It wasn't necessarily their fault because the race was kind of sleepy, that it wasn't a great broadcast, but, don't go back on your word that what you were going to say, that you said you were going to do at the beginning of the year, and then go full screen.
Yeah, I think, the going back is annoying, but just getting more so to the first part, I think I have more to say. It's just it's an 80-year-old man is in, control of the broadcast. Because, or it's and I don't mean they're just slow. They are slow. They're very slow to catch things, but they're also just set in their ways. They want to show the classic Kansas finishes. Chase Elliott could be flipped upside down on fire, jumping out of the race car while the race is still green. And they're no, you're going to watch these classic finishes because that's what we're doing right now in this 30-second block. Doesn't matter what's going on. This is how it's going to be. Like it or leave it. And I just don't understand why they're so set in their ways. They're so, the broadcast for the CW is actually such a great example. Because, you see some guy spinning, and then all of a sudden, quick camera cut. Oh, by the way, Carson Quaffel's upside down. Fox could never dream of that. Of a change in direction that quick. They would get dizzy and fall down a flight of stairs. To me, it's wild. Literally, yeah, it's the 80-year-old man trying to navigate his way down a flight of stairs when he's I'm doing it this way, don't like it. Brr. And he's got some bad words to say. Anything else on the Fox category, or should I go into good surprise / bad surprise?
No, there's nothing really good or else on the Fox category. There was a Kevin Harvick I didn't think had his best broadcast today. You mentioned it when they were saying that Kyle Larson took over as the lap leader of most laps led at Kansas. And there's all right, there's a new leader for that. And Kevin Harvick was basically I don't care. And it was just kind of an awkward moment. They're okay.
Okay.
But other than that, that was all I had to say with Fox.
Yeah, does anybody tell this guy he's supposed to be interesting? Anyways, before we get too far from the race picks, let me go over my race pick for Talladega. Actually, I'm going to let you go first because you picked Chris Buescher, who did not crash himself in the final restart.
Well, this is always a shot in the dark, and it's always a little bit difficult. Austin Cindric won last year, and I did almost go with him. I won't lie, I did almost go with Austin Cindric. But I'm actually going to go with Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick has been kind of a surprise lately on the drafting tracks. He won at Talladega a couple of years ago. He won at Daytona this year. He's been decent on the drafting tracks, even though it's not a track that I would think would be favorable for him, but he's been pretty decent, especially Bubba Wallace as well. You know, they've both kind of always been, or I should say, it's Talladega and Daytona, so you can't say always, but they're generally up there at the end, both of them. So I think if both of them can survive the madness, one of them could pull it off, and I'm just going to go with Tyler Reddick because he's just been on fire this year. Obviously, he just got his 5th victory tonight. I think he could easily get his 6th victory well, not easily, again, it's Talladega, but he could get his 6th victory next weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the second time now that we're saying that we're going into a week after he wins and we're still counting him as kind of an underdog. And it is true, though, because, I mean, pretty much anybody's an underdog going to Talladega. My pick is a little more... like, it's very easy to pick a Team Penske car. And that's who I'm going to pick as a Team Penske car. However, coming off of, spoiler alert, off of Kansas, where 2 out of 3 of them were horrible, and the only good one was Austin Cindric, which should be ringing alarm bells at Team Penske. It's like, I don't know. They also weren't great at Daytona. They were okay at Atlanta. But the Penske's are good at fuel saving. That's what the first, 2/3 of the race is going to be. I am picking, it was either between Logano or Cindric. I'm going Logano. My gut says Logano, the 22 car wins. I would love for the single 2 car to win, follow up his win a year ago. However, it's going to be the double 2. He's going to win at Talladega. That's my race pick. And I might as well just jump straight into my good surprise, which is William Byron. And you might be like, well, William Byron's a front runner. I do agree. However, after last week, he was abysmal, horrible, the worst I've ever seen, running with Cody Ware on speed. Finished in 7th place, a good top 10, getting them back on track. And he was running good all day, running like... 7th place is actually probably the best I saw him all day, so he finished better than he was running. Also, Riley Herbst finished 14th. He started up front last week at Bristol, just kept on drifting back. He stayed around that, 15th place range all day for him, and he beat out his potential future competition in Corey Heim, who finished 1 spot behind him. It was a good run for Riley Herbst. Who was your good surprise?
So I actually just did 20 through 11 as a whole, because as a team, and specifically a team that's not considered one of the big 3, I think, well, one, they've had a really great start to the season, but always the black sheep is Riley Herbst, right? And then Corey Heim's new, so you don't really always put him in that same category. But finishes today for 23-11. Tyler Reddick, obviously first. Bubba Wallace 5th. Riley Herbst 14th. Corey Heim 15th. What a great day for 23-11. And boss man Michael Jordan was there. Boss man Michael Jordan is watching potentially his new driver, Corey Heim, finish 1 spot behind his current driver, Riley Herbst. And this is Corey Heim. Obviously, it's not his rookie year, but he's running a good portion of the races this year for 23-11. If I was Riley Herbst, I would be very nervous. Yes, he did beat him out, but Corey Heim running 1 spot behind you and he only has a select handful of races he's run so far, that would make me a little nervous. Bad surprise, I think we probably, if I had to guess, had the same one, and that's Trackhouse Racing. They were absolutely horrific. They were terrible all day. Ross Chastain, 26th place. Connor Zilch, 29th place. Shane Van Gisbergen in 36th place. What are the highlights for the day? No highlights. The highlight for the day was the checkered flag waving, and they got to pull off the track and be done, because they were horrible. They were out to lunch all day. I was making my fantasy picks this week and debated on Ross Chastain, and I said, what would ever give me an inkling to think that Ross Chastain right now would be good and I should pick him? And thank God I didn't, because he was absolutely dog shit all day. He was the front runner of the 3, but he was absolutely fucking terrible. That was my bad surprise. Who's yours?
Yeah, I mean, I also had Trackhouse, and, you pretty much said everything I wanted to say, except for Connor Zilch was running second to last for, like, the whole first stage, beating out only Cody Ware. Second to last. We know he's got talent. We know he's probably got more talent than probably half the field. second last. Only Cody Ware. Burn the whole car down. I also had one more bad surprise, though, which I did briefly touch on before, was Team Penske. Blaney usually is competitive, usually is the most competitive Ford, usually is like the one of the only few people who can just consistently pass people all day when his pit crew is giving up 10 spots on pit road per stop. He was garbage all day. He and Logano was both garbage all day. Cindric ran in the top 15 all day, and like I said, if he's carrying the torch for the organization, we have problems, gang. Logano winds up 30th, another bad finish for him, like Darlington. Blaney winds up 24th. Sad. Sad.
Do we know where Josh Berry got?
No idea.
Let's see if I can see.
Just horrible. Austin Cindric. Oh, by the way, it wasn't like it was like, oh, they ran a good, but, they wind up finishing. No, they were there the entire day. Blaney started, I think, 7th, and he just drifted back immediately. Cindric ran up, was like the highest runner all day. You got Blaney's finish for me?
Well, Blaney's was 24th. Josh Berry's was 27th. Yeah, Josh Berry's was 27th, so he did finish above Logano, who got 30th, but yeah, he is horrible too.
Yeah, you just hope they're trying something. You hope they're trying something, because if this is what it's going to be in the chase, because I believe Candace is the chase race. Yikes. I am ready to move to off-track stuff if you are ready.
I am ready. I only got a little bit this week, so.
Yeah, me too. Actually, before I go to off-track, I just want to say, post-race, Denny Hamlin in his interview expressed his displeasure with Cody Ware wrecking, coming to the white flag, being 6 laps down. I thought that was interesting. Obviously, I know it was. You don't really hear him. You don't really hear too many people talk about Cody Ware, even if it is like negatively, which I thought was interesting. It was surprising to me that he like directly said, "Yeah, the 51, 6 laps down, basically throws our race away." I thought that was interesting, but we can get into the off-track stuff, and we'll start with the NASCAR, because there's really only one thing. It was that the restraining order that was on Chris Gabehart got extended till this Tuesday. So that was literally it. Ryan Blaney, last week, I think I was like, listen, Ryan Blaney is like a championship contender. Are you really going to roll with a rookie jackman for the rest of the year, just trying to get him reps? And the answer, like 2 weeks after Jonathan Haas was like, no, he's staying with us. Well, guess what? He was gone. They got rid of him. And it was supposed to be replacing him was somebody from Josh Berry's crew. However, he couldn't do it this week. So this week he had somebody from Noah Gragson's crew, his jackman. I believe the guy he's supposed to get will be back for Talladega next week. But I thought it was interesting. Haas was like, no, he's our guy. 2 weeks later, the guy's gone. Obviously, he wasn't that much of the guy. Let's see here. Tyler Reddick signs with Rockstar Energy Drink after having Monster the past few years. Thought that was interesting. That's a good, big name sponsor for the sport. The only other thing that I have, we don't really cover ARCA here, but in the ARCA race, Gia Ruggiero, by like anybody with eyesight, intentionally wrecked Destiny Spurlock to get a late race restart so that he could have a shot to win. And I was curious your thoughts of that, if you've seen the video, and if you thought what your thoughts were on it.
So I didn't really pay much attention to it. I tried to live stream it, but I didn't get the time to. I think I did see the clip though, and it's just, I don't remember who's he going against for the win. Do you remember? But yeah, I saw that. I thought it was kind of like a cheap move, especially because he's trying to go through the ranks, and he's someone that it sounds like could move through the ranks and be someone that's a up-and-coming guy. Probably will go through O'Reilly, but allegedly could make it to Cup in the next, 5 years. Not a good look, everyone makes mistakes, and hopefully this is just a learning experience for him, but yeah, not a good look. I've heard he already had like a shady reputation in the past. don't follow ARCA that much, when you think of ARCA currently right now, you think of Cletus McFarland and Squirrel, and then there's other people like Isabella Robusto, who now you don't hear about as much because you got these people like Cletus McFarland and Squirrel taking up the headlines. I don't even know who Squirrel is.
Yeah, I have no idea. If your name's Squirrel, we're not paying attention. I'm sorry.
I saw on the broadcast they had them listed on the leaderboard as Cletus and Squirrel, and I was like, who the fuck? I know that he works and is friends with Cletus, but I was just like, who the fuck is Squirrel? But yeah. So yeah, just and back to Gio though, like if you're gonna be someone that's up and coming, you just want to kind of keep your reputation clear. Did you notice that Daniel Dye was back this weekend? It might have been him actually that was going for the win.
That might have been.
It might have been him.
Interesting decision to have him back. Money talks. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see if he can clean it up, because that would be now the the second time he's got to clean it up and start fresh, because he had, like, the arrest or something
the Nutcracker
previously,
incident, yes.
Yeah.
Just actually, I thought of one other thing. Imagine you're like, I'm just sitting here. I don't know nothing about NASCAR. There's nothing on TV. Let me throw him. What is an ARCA race? Let me look at that. And you look at the leaderboard, and you see somebody's name is Squirrel McNutt. I'm changing the channel. Click. I'd rather watch golf. Okay. I don't know. That's all the off-track stuff I got. I know you got more, though.
I think going into next week, a job or a task we should have after the Talladega race is we should come up with an alias name that would be our name on the live leaderboard, and whoever has the best one wins some kind of prize. Squirrel McNutt obviously is going to be the top one.
Yeah, we can't beat that.
We should try to find No, we should try to see who can come up with a better one. I didn't have much. I also had Blaney's pit crew, and then I also had Rockstar Energy. One thing with Rockstar Energy joining 2311 is that is going to be the third energy drink sponsor for 2311. So Tyler Reddick is going to have Rockstar Energy, Riley Herbst has Monster, and Corey Heim has Celsius. That's going to be kind of interesting, trying to navigate and promote all of them, and then the sponsors not getting mad that Celsius not getting mad that you're promoting Monster or, something along those lines. Only other thing I had was that the All-Star Fan Vote and Hall of Fame voting are now open. You can make those selections online. Josh, obviously, we talked about our Hall of Fame votes for who we would pick. Curious if you have looked at the All-Star Fan Vote and decide who you would pick.
Who I would decide that I pick? I mean, probably Michael McDowell. However, there's no chance he wins because I'm looking at some of the names there. Zilich was there. I believe Hosvar was there. And right there, that's two names. Gregson was on there, obviously. He hasn't won anything. So it's probably going to go to one of those three if I had to guess, just off the top of my head. Meaning, like, Michael McDowell, love him. He's not winning that. It's just not happening. But I'm trying to think.
I wonder. Noah Gragson, I think, has been the one that's been winning, right?
Mm-hmm. I wonder with Zilich though if things change, or Hosvar, because now he's not just loud; he's also running pretty good too.
I think I got it. I think I got all of them. Noah Gragson, Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon, AJ Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, Todd Gillen, Riley Herbst, Zane Smith, Cole Custer, John Hunter Nemechek, Eric Jones, Ricky Stenhouse, Alex Bowman, Cody Ware, Ryan Preece, Michael McDowell, Carson Hosvar, and Connor Zilich. I think I got all of them.
Forgetting Bowman. If Bowman's there, Bowman actually probably wins. But let's assume that he wins the...
I think Carson Hosvar is more popular than him.
No, I mean now. Like the race, like the open race to get in. Oh. I assume he wins. But if he doesn't win, I still think Bowman probably clears him.
For fan vote? Carson Hosvar, the young people are gravitating to Carson Hosvar. I really think Carson Hosvar is the one to beat on that.
But the old people can't get over Dale Jr. And Bowman's got the Dale Jr. crowd.
I don't know. We'll see. I think Carson Hosvar is going to have the fan vote. I really do. I mean, Noah Gragson, I think, could come close. Noah Gragson, a lot of people were... I want to word this properly, but a lot of people were upset when he got suspended for liking that meme, and it got him a lot of...
sympathy.
New followers, yeah. And so he's been, I think, the one to beat, but I really think Carson Hosvar now, looking at all of these people, is going to be the most popular one.
We shall see.
We shall see. I'm all set here.
I'm all...
Let's go to Talladega.
Yeah, bring on Talladega. I mean, bring on the last stage of Talladega, because it really is just going to be white noise for the first 2/3 of the race. But anyways, folks, that is all we've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week for Talladega. Enjoy this one day early special here of Kansas, the sleeper race. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.